is Docker. No, no, no. I want stop this, Sandeep. Continue. Okay, cool. Let me do one more thing here. Okay, right. Okay. By the way, guys, do you have any questions so far in the GitLab that we learn here? Please let me know if you have. Otherwise, we do have two major topics that we need to cover today related to the Git. And then once that is completed, we would be completing our GitHub learning. Okay. So the one is there are two things. One is the merge conflicts, and the second one is the Git branching strategies. Okay. The second one is we have to know it is very important, and even the first one, which is a Git merging conflicts, right? How to deal with the conflicts. Generally, we won't be getting that. We won't be getting a conflicts on every day, but sometimes with kind of situations we will face those merge conflicts. So we will see how to resolve that and how to understand this, because even if you are in a tech lead position, or if you are managing a couple of people under you, and they are writing, or they are writing some automation scripts as a DevOps person, so I'm talking, if they are writing some automation scripts or some configuration changes, right? You may need to deal with these conflicts, because you are managing those people's changes, and then you are authorized to do the code review. But generally, if you are a developer, you definitely need to follow this. I mean, you definitely will face most of the time than DevOps guys. But still, as a even though we don't face our regularly, but still we recommend to learn, and even we should know how to deal with that. That's why we have to learn. Okay, let's do one thing here. Now let me go back to Git. What I'm doing is I'm gonna create a Git. What happened? Oh, sorry, it's a wrong name. But fine. Let me to Git merge. Okay, now. Okay, so the thing is, let me clone it here. So I'm freshly cloning it here, because yesterday's my workspace is something else different. Okay. Guys, just give me 1 to 2 minutes. Just a minute. I think I do have some problem. Hey guys, I'm back. Okay, let me share back here. Yeah, so just a minute, guys. I'm just sharing my screen here. Okay, cool. So we already created, and let's see here. Clone, and the one which I want to clone it here, because we intentionally make a merge conflict events, and then we'll see how to deal with that. Okay, so just one more thing. I mean, you don't need to really clone on every day. Okay, why I was doing is I was keep on deleting the whatever we have done yesterday because of some space issues. That's why I'm freshly cloning it here. Okay, so now let's see. We are into the branch now. What we do is, okay, what we do is, we will be intentionally, we will do one thing. We do have a merge branch. I mean, we do have a two branches at least when we want to see the conflicts. For example, take a master branch, or from master branch, you might have been created a development branch. From the development branch, you might have been created as some feature branch. Okay. Now, what you would have done is you have done some changes. For example, there is a pom.xml which is related to the Maven, and here in the feature branch also you have pom.xml, and this is under the feature branch. Okay, this is under the feature branch. This is under the this is under the dev branch. Okay, now you are doing the merge conflict, or the conflict which will come only when you do a try to modify a same line of a same file, and then try to merge of those two branches, you would be getting a conflict. Okay, so because you got a conflict while you are merging, this is called a merge conflict. Okay, and what you need to do is you have to you have to carefully or manually resolve this conflict and then merge it. That's what you have to do when you face it. Okay, the merge conflict is one of the event which will happen when you are trying to do the changes of a same line of a same file of a two different branches in a merge event. Okay, so you would be getting this an issue. Okay, what you need to do is, generally Git itself will do a conflict resolution. Okay, that is called the auto resolve or auto merge it. Okay, meaning if the Git is able to resolve that conflict automatically, it can able to do and then give you output without an issue. But it will raise only the issue when it's not able to merge automatically. You have to do it manually. Then only you would be able to merge those or able to resolve those issues. Okay, let's see now. What we do is, first we will check out to the dev branch and then edit the pom.xml and commit it and push it. Then we'll go to the some feature branch, and then we will also edit the pom.xml of same changes here itself. Meaning, let's take an example. In the pom.xml, we do have a version or some kind of a version related to the pom.xml. Okay, so we'll try to do this changes of the changing the version of a pom, some version property in both the branches. Then what we do is we'll try to merge feature branch to development branch. Okay, and then we will be facing an issue complaining that, hey dude, you might have conflicts, so please resolve it. If it is able to resolve automatically, it should have been shown you, no problem. It won't give you any issues or something. This is what we are going to do now. Okay, I hope it's clear. Please let me know if it is, if you understand how the merge conflict will rise in different scenario. Okay, now let me check git branch whether do we have. Okay, there is a dev branch here. What I'm gonna do is, let me check, is there any feature branch? Okay, don't, what I'll do is, I'll create a same branch here itself. Let's say 2253 here. Then we'll think this is a feature branch. Now let me check out the develop branch. And then let me check what are the files are there. Okay, there is a lot of files here, but we need to care about the pom.xml. Let me open pom.xml here in the development branch. Okay, here let's take, there is a lot of things here, right? Okay, my module name I'm gonna change is -0.1.0 or 0.1. Okay, this is what we have given called, or let's say this is a develop. Okay, remember this line. We'll try to do the same thing in other way. Git status here, it is saying git modified, git form.xml, and then git status. That's cool, it's added. And what I do is I'll commit it, added develop to EMR module. Okay, now this is good. The thing is, either you can push it or you can stop it here itself. Meaning, if you want these changes to be there in the GitHub, you can push it. Otherwise, you can directly go with your next step. Okay, I don't want to push it now. Okay, that's fine. I want to merge it in locally, then I'll push it. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll check out to the new branch. Okay, git checkout -bah. What is that? What I'll do is 2253 bah-2253 2253 here. What it is saying? Okay, origin. What is that? Is it correct? What I see? What I see? Okay, these are the changes. I mean, it is complaining about there is a lot of changes and everything. But let me check whether do I have the pom.xml. Yes. Under the pom.xml, there is a pom. Maybe we may get some issue. I'm assuming. It's what I'm doing is I'm editing the same file of the same line. Here is 2253 branch. Okay. And this is what I've been changed. And then this git status, git add, pom.xml, git commit. Okay. Git commit. So what I do is added 2253 code for EMR, I guess. Okay, now this is one. Okay, what we have done is we have done the changes in the pom.xml for the development branch, and we checked out to the new feature branch. For example, my feature branch name is 22530. Generally, what this 22530 is, it is a ticket number. It is a Jira ticket number. Some people will give their branching names as a feature names, and some people will use the Jira ticket as their features. Some people will use the Jira ticket as their bug number instead of a feature name. Okay, so it's up to them. In their open source repository, they are using a Jira ticket number as their feature name instead of mentioning the feature name. It is kind of a securing their branching strategy also, because people who don't know what the feature it is and everything, only the internal people will know. That's a good thing, right? Okay, now I want to see the differences of this guy and development branch, because I'm assuming we may get the different issue. Get diff. Okay, these are these many changes here. There is a build publish.sh, and this one validator.yaml, and git licenses, and redmi.md, yeah, pom.xml. I think not only the pom.xml, new module, where is our changes? I mean, these are the some of the major differences between two branches here. Okay, let's find out where is ours. I mean, there are a lot of changes here. Okay, I mean, I think what we are doing is we are picking a wrong branch. I mean, wrong branch, it's not a wrong thing, but the thing is, if the the develop has the latest features, okay, but branch 2253 has very, very old features and which does not merge with from the long time. That's why we are seeing these many differences here. Okay, but still we may get expecting we may get a conflict issue because we are intentionally raising it. Let's do this because it seems to that. Okay, now what I want is, and h double two five. I think that's fine. I think branch name could be different. Okay, now what we have done is, okay, fine. See, this guy is clearly saying, hey dude, you are ahead, and this one is very a lot of behinds of it, but fine. What I want is, now I'll switch back to my development branch from this to this one, and then I'll raise a merge, okay, of this particular branch name. Git branch. Okay, you are being here, so you should refer something like this. Okay, right? Git checkout develop. Okay, and see this guy is here clearly saying that you are leaving one commit behind of it, something like that. Okay, let's do one thing. Git checkout. I mean, I just switched to development branch. Since this is complaining head, you did not committed it, please commit it again. So I'm switching back again here. Generally, we directly do that. Fine. Git merge. Since I'm in development branch, I don't need to specify which from to which branch I need to merge it. By default, you check out to that particular branch, meaning I'm 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 into the development branch. Now I want to merge off this guy changes. I mean this branch changes. Not develop. Where is this? Origin of this two. Copy, paste it here. Okay, let's see what will happen. Auto merging. See, this guy is able to automatically merge of all this stuff here. Okay, so it's not the, I think we did not get the conflict because it's able to resolve automatically. Now let me do one more thing. Okay, the same thing. What I do is, since the branch that I have taken is very, very old and it's able to easily resolve the conflicts by the Git tool itself. Okay, now what we'll do is, again from the same dev branch. Okay, actually this is not the correct. I mean, there is a some branch called BAH like this, and then we are trying to merge here. This is what we have done. I mean, this is what we have taken now. Again, I'll try to another way. Let's take this is a dev branch. From the dev branch itself, I'll create another branch. Instead of creating a branch from master directly, from the dev itself, I'll create a branch. And then we'll do the same changes in both the branches, and then we'll try to merge it here. That is what we'll do it here. Git checkout. No. Again, I'll take the simple change one. Non-form.xml. I'll directly go with the 4.2, 4.1.0, 1.1. This is the changes which have been done here. Okay. Git status here. Git add. Since we are being intentionally want to raise a conflict, right? It's kind of, and that too we have picked some kind of a long old branch here. Okay, git add form.xml. Okay, I don't want to do this. Restore, because I want to create a branch. Okay, just a minute. Let me think of git checkout form.xml, and there is no changes. Check here. Okay, we'll use completely like this. Stage. Okay, now I'll do git checkout form.xml. Okay, no changes. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll create a new branch, git branch -b my F1 branch, okay, from the development. What it is complaining? Git branch F1, checkout F1, this is the new one, okay. Okay, fine now. I directly create the new branch. I'm gonna change form.xml, this, let's say 4.f1.0.1. Okay, right, git status, git add, form.xml, git commit, changed form.xml, change the form.xml with version. Okay, that's it. Now what I'll do is I'll check out develop, and then I'll open form.xml here. Instead of 0.0, for example, dev.1.0 or 0.1 here. Okay, right? Now what I'll do is, it is saying I'll add it form.xml, and I'm checking the status, it's good. Now I'll do is a commit, changed form.xml version. Okay, right, git status, looks everything is fine now. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll raise a merge request from the I want a changes, or I want to merge git merge of F1 to develop now. So let's see what will happen. Since I'm in develop, I don't need to specify to where those merges to be, because I'm already been into the source branch, which is a development branch. So I just need to specify which branch I want to merge it. See, I think we got a conflict here. It is trying to auto merge of this guy called form.xml. So what I've done is I was been in the development branch, and then I want merge of these branch changes to development branch. Initially, Git has tried this auto merging, but it can't able to do because of the conflict, and the conflict name is a merge conflict dot pom.xml, and this automatic merge failed because it's can't able to do that. It's saying fix the conflicts and then commit the result. That's guy this is saying. And if you might have seen here, the status of this particular guy has also changed from only develop to it is in the event of merging. Okay, so now how to see this conflict here? Now we got a conflict. Let's see what is exactly the conflict. Okay, how do we know? Since it is complaining about a pom.xml, we have to open this pom.xml and then see. This is one, this is thing. Okay, and if there are 5 conflicts in a 5 different files, it would have shown you all those 5 list of 5 files here. Otherwise it won't specifically tell you. I mean, some kind of terminal, right? The conflict itself will show you here. It's only since it's a git bash, it is not showing you. But if it is a if you open a Ubuntu terminal and then try to merge with this command, the conflict itself will tell you like here only. Okay, let's open this file form.xml. See, something got changed here, right? This is the conflict. Wherever the conflict, the entire file will be changed like this. Since there is only one conflict, we find this only one time. If there are multiple places, if it find a conflict, it will tell you, it will show something like this. Okay, so we have to understand this a little bit here. Okay, luckily this is only small concept which we can easily understand. I mean, small concept means the conflict is very small. That's why it is easy to understand. The conflict is always represented with these arrows here. Let me do this part in. Okay, the conflict will be divided with the equal to symbols here, meaning this is a midline between the conflicts, or this is a show you a difference. This is a one version of it. This is a one version of the changes. This is another version of the changes. Which one you want to do the changes? That's what they're saying. Let's talk about what is the upper part of this equalization. I mean, this is been representing the source side of it, or the branch that you have currently logged in as the differences. I mean, these changes are from the currently logged in branches, meaning currently, I mean, at present, I'm into the development branch. So the top one is representing uh, the current branch, which is from the development branch. Okay, dev branch has these changes. And let's see the lower part of the equalization, that is representing the feature branch that you want to merge it. I mean, that's representing the branch that you want to merge. Okay, here the below part is from the this particular branch called f1. In our case, f1 is our feature, I mean our branch. That's why it is showing. Okay, why we need to understand here is that in interview, people will ask you how do you resolve it, and they might ask you what are these meanings. That's why we need to know all this. The conflicts will be show a difference with the equal symbols, and the upper portion of the equal symbols represents the uh, current branch, and the lower part of the equal symbols represents the branch that we want to merge. That is, and what you need to do is you open this form.xml. Okay, And then if I want, okay, now we have to decide how to resolve. Either you should keep 4.dev.0.1 or you should keep 4.f1.01. I want things, I mean, you can do whatever you want. Okay, I don't want this one here, meaning I don't want these changes. I want to keep only dev.4.0 only. Simply you come here and then remove those equals, right arrow, left arrow symbols, and something like this, and then save it here. That's it. This is how you do manually. You have to either keep the other lower part of the changes or upper part of the changes. In this case, I'm just keeping my upper part of the changes. That's it. You save it, and then as usual, your conflict will be resolved. Now I don't want to save this because I want to show another way of resolving this also with the GUI format. Okay. Now I don't want this. So if you remember yesterday, we have something called Git CI tool, which is a representation of this one. Here, this is the GUI tool, which is showing you the conflicts here. The same thing. There is only one conflict in the pom.xml. It has since shown the pom.xml. If there is a multiple files, right, I would have shown you the multiple files here itself. And in the pom.xml, this is only the conflict area. That's why it is shown the part or portion of the conflicted area. If there are multiple 5 conflict areas in the pom.xml, it would have shown all the 5 areas here itself. Okay. Now what you need to do is you just actually we should be doing some changes here itself. Okay. It's no, I don't know why it's not allowing me to do this. Generally, again, same thing. If we just need to remove these lines and this line, keep this as my main version, or I don't want this changes. So so this I'll keep like this and then directly commit it here itself. I don't know why why I'm not able to. Okay, 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 and I'm gonna remove this. Okay, I'll keep this. Then I'm changing this. I don't know why. Rescan it. What does this happen? Stage is changed. And then, okay, let me cancel it here. Generally, it should show you allow the there itself, okay? But still, I want to see, I mean, it's automatically saved it here, guys. Okay, fine now. Okay, now let me do the changes. See, both modified. I mean, I was since the changes that I have done, right? It has been shown as a modified now. Again, same as usual. Git add pom.xml, git commit, git commit -m resolve conflicts, and then again git status here, and then git status here. Yeah, as usual, git push origin, and then develop. If you don't want push your changes to remote repository, it's absolutely fine, but we can ignore it also. Okay, I mean, it's fine here. So now I just pushed all the changes. So everything is fine now. I mean, this is how we need to resolve the conflicts, guys. I hope you understand, or please let me know if you have any questions on this. I have taken a simple of these changes, but in while you are working, you would be facing a lot of conflicts like this on a different files of a different branches, not only single file or not only single with the single commit, single conflict area. You would get a multiple conflict areas in a single file or multiple files. This would be experienced by the developers almost most of the times here. Okay. Um, please let me know. I want a confirmation from everyone. Is it clear or not? Okay. Because please let me know if you have any questions. If I don't get response, I'm assuming, okay, thanks, Naveen. I'm assuming it's been clear. Fine. Okay, thanks, Nanda. Thank you very much. Okay, now let's talk about something called, what about others? I'm waiting for others' response here. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Fine here. So the thing is, now we have to talk about a Git branching strategies, which is very important, and as a part of an interview, and as well as while you are working, you have to understand what kind of a branching strategies you would be requiring. Okay, this is a little bit theoretical part. For example, whenever you push any or created any repository in GitHub, you would be getting a branch called either main or master branch. Okay, now this is the main or master branch. From the master branch, they would be creating a something called dev or release branch. Okay, for example, let's take this as a dev branch here. This is the dev branch here. Okay, and from the dev, what they do is, or what they do in between is also like this. They would have created two branches here, meaning let's do undo here, one dev and one QA branch. For example, let's take this as a QA. Okay, or QA branch, for example, let's take this. Now this is a basic branching thing what they have been following. Every company will follow some kind of a branching strategy. What does it mean is, they'll put us some kind of a restriction saying that, as I mentioned, right? They would have a multiple environments. Okay, prod environment, QA environment, dev environment. Sometimes after prod, we do have a staging environment. Some people will call it as a pre-prod environment, or some people will have a separate pre-prod also itself, instead of staging and all here. Okay, so like these many environments will have it. Okay, this environment will be owned by the developers. This is being owned by the environment, in the sense, for example, a set of server. For example, you have an application. That application required some kind of EC2 resources or compute power, and it required a database. It required a multiple services and all, right? Similar setup will be created for another environment, which they will be using for their own purposes. In this case, develop team will have their own dev environment, which they will use for the developing and testing all that stuff. QA environment is owned by the QA guys, testing guys, and then they'll be using for their testing purposes whatever the changes they have done. And either staging or pre-prod will be used by the product owners or solution architect to test the features of the entire product, whether it has been good or not. And then they would be using or accessing internally to understand how product is working, whether the product features is good, everything is fine or not. Once, in the pre-prod is also the same thing. Okay, and prod is the place where end user will be able to access it. Like us, we are the end users of a Google Drive product. Okay, Drive will have their own environments for the Google employees, like pre-prod or staging or QA or something. They have more different kinds of environments. We don't need to worry about it. The point that you need to do is, for each and every environment, some branch will be responsible. For example, right, master branch will always be pointed to prod, meaning the changes that they have done in the master branch will always be in a prod. For example, take a Google Drive as an example. Google Drive has a deployed in a production, and that particular production code is being there with the master branch. Either dev or QA branch does not have, I mean, not does not have. It may not only contains a master changes, it contains other changes also. For example, if there is 100 lines of files, dev and QA may have more than that, but not definitely not less than that, because master is the stable product. I mean, master branch will have a stable code, which is everything is working. Okay, this is one thing. Another one is, since we have either prod or staging, right? Some people will also have another strategy called stage or pre-prod here. They'll be creating another branch here, staging or pre-prod here. Okay. So these many branches, they would be creating initial setup. Okay. Now, for example, developers in the scrum meeting is happened and decided in this particular sprint, or sprint is nothing but a 2 to 3 weeks of a time, which is the terminology in that scrum. I mean, we would be using in a scrum is nothing but every day we will be meeting and then update on the task. It will be less than 1 hour or greater than 30 minutes, where everyone will be involved, and then they will explain you what exactly the work you are doing today and what you are going to do it tomorrow. Are there any blockers? Do you need any help from any other team? This kind of update you have to give on every meeting, on every day, on a particular time. Okay, so in this they will have some boundaries. That boundary names are called as a sprints. Sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, something like that. In a sprint will have every boundary, or every sprint will have some time. The time could be 2 to 3 weeks. For example, in a sprint 1 or sprint of August 1st to 3 weeks, we need to develop 2 features. For example, let's take example of the 2 features here. What they do is, generally, the sprint target for this 2 to 3 weeks is 2 features has to be completed. For example, not only the developers, let's think about you are also writing an automation script for some of the manual work, and you have given an instructions you have to complete. One is automate deployment process. I mean, for example, 3 jars. You should write some kind of an automation that script should take 3 URLs. Should take 3 URLs as a parameters as an input, and use those URLs to download jars and then deploy. This is the automating one of the service. Another one is, you have to write one more script, clean up logs. Clean up the logs for every week. That log should be data science related team, not every logs, only DSC team, data science related team only. These are the 2 features or 2 assignments or 2 tasks that you got from your manager or team lead. Okay, as a DevOps person, what you need to do is, since immediately what you should be doing is, even though you are not a developer, but you still, because develop will have all the changes, this is the latest. What you do is, you create a new branch called, for example, for this task you got something ticket like this, 0 3 4 5 6, and this is the assignment ticket for you, and this is a 0 6654, 6643. This is a Zira. So you would be creating a branch with this name called Zira 3456. This is another one. So you take it, I mean, you create a new branch, and then you would be committing, you do develop, you tested, you committed here. Okay. Similarly, if there is any another DevOps person, what they do is they'll again from the develop, they don't take it from here. Okay, they would be taking from the dev only. Again, from the dev, they'll create another branch and they'll mention that as a Zira ticket number, for example, 6643. And then they will commit, they'll develop their features, they will commit their changes, and that's it. And you will tell what you do is, once you have done your commits, you would be deploying your changes, or you would be testing your changes on dev environment. Okay, I mean, there would be some place where you have to test it, right? Similarly, this guy also, or for this tickets also, you would use an existing dev environment, deploy those changes and test it. Once if you are okay, what you need to do is you have to raise a pull request, meaning saying that, hey team lead or hey manager, I have completed my Zira 3456. I am going to raise a PR to development branch. This is where the PR or merge request will be raised by this guy from this branch, dev branch. Once you have raised a PR, your respective manager or your team lead would review this PR and then merge these changes. You may face an issue or you may not face an issue, that is conflicts. If it is no conflicts, everything is fine. If it is a conflicts, what they do is they will call you, and your manager and you would require to join a call and then understand what changes you need to be present and what changes you need to be deleted. Like 10 minutes back, we have deleted something, right? In a real time, no one would resolve the conflicts, because if you delete some changes of others, they will worry, right? They will be in trouble. So you have to talk to that guy and then get a confirmation, not through orally, through either email or some kind of a message. That's how you should be get a confirmation and then merge it or remove it. Okay, now developers assumed everything is fine, nothing. He will merge these changes. So this particular dev branch has the changes of automate deployment feature. Similarly, for the Zira, you have to raise another pull request or MR request, and then again they will deploy it, and then again they will merge it. So not deploy. Again, they will review their PR and then they will merge it. And now this will have cleanup functionality. Okay. Now what they do is, again, since you are the owner of it, what you need to do is, these changes will be, again, since you are a DevOps person, again, you have to deploy from the previous features and new features into the dev environment again. You have to deploy into the dev environment again. You have to test the features that you have developed, meaning auto deploy and cleanup modules. And then you give a confirmation, okay, everything is working fine in the dev environment. Then again, if everything is working fine, you again need to raise a PR to merge a request. To do a merge request, saying that, hey, dev has a stable, can you please deploy into the QA? So QA team will be testing it. So once you raised a PR, again, team lead or manager will approve this PR or merge request. And then once the merge request is approved, these changes you would be deploying in the QA environment. Now this is the time, who is the owner? The QA team would be the owner. QA team will deploy these. I mean, not QA team won't be deploying that. As a DevOps person, or you have to deploy either through manually or through some kind of a CI/CD pipeline. You are the responsible for deploying the QA changes in the QA environment also. Once you have deployed, you would be intimating these changes to QA team, and QA team will test it, and once they approved or once they signed off, meaning if everything is working, they will sign off. Then again another PR has to raise a request to go to the staging environment. Okay, in the staging environment, again the same process. You have to raise a PR, and then someone will approve, someone will merge it. Once merged it, as a DevOps person, you have to deploy into the staging environment, and you would inform to your solution architect and your product manager, scrum master, and everyone. So they will log into this pre-prod environment and test the basic feature, or if they want. Okay, and then it's fine. If everything is okay or everything is signed off by the product team, again you have to raise a merge request to master branch to deploy the changes into the production. So this is how the travel of us changes would be happening. Here what we got is, no, by the time this is how it would be like this. Your changes, these features will be changes something like this and something like this. This is how. Okay, now once this is done, again, since QA is also merged with the development branch, right, something like this will happen. Okay, since even staging is also merged right here, again staging will also be point here. So now staging, QA, and everything in the same point, meaning these three stages, or even this also, by the way, master here, right? These changes also been merged with the master. So now, since this is the end of the thing, you have to see, okay, where is this point? This point is coming from the dev branch. Okay, the dev branch contains QA changes, staging changes, and everything. So this is the latest one. Master have a latest of everything. Okay, so this is how the network diagram, this is how the one company would be following it. Some other company would also involve something called, for example, like this, right? Similarly, there is something called releases. They won't deploy the staging changes to directly to the master. They would be deploying the changes to release again. From release, they would be deploying the master. This is one way. Some people, what they know is, they don't care about a master as a dummy product, but it is a backup one. What they do is, in the production, instead of deploying the master changes, what they do is they'll be deploying the release branches in the production. Okay, once everything is successful, then they will merge to the master. Master will have a all the changes like this. So this is one strategy they would be following it. Some people, right, they don't have any QA or staging or pre-prod. Directly they would change the, they would be deploying the changes from the dev to master. Okay, I mean, they don't want other things also. It's completely depends on how much big project that you are working on, how much is the team size, and what kind of a features it is, whether it is a microservice architecture or monolithic. It's all depends on how complex of your application is all about. But this everyone, this is the some of the best branching strategy would be applying. Most of the people would be following it. Okay, some people, instead of following these naming conventions, what they do follow is they would be following some kind of a fruit names, some kind of a place names, and everything. Okay, so these are the self-explanatory terminologies they would be following. Instead of master, they would be following kind of the king of jungle is a lion, right? They would have given a lion here, and the next subsequent tiger, something elephant, like that. They would be giving based on the priorities. Some people would be following the fruits. I have really seen this, especially these kind of things in the startups I have seen here. That's why I'm telling you. Otherwise, I couldn't have been told you. Even I wouldn't have been known also. Yeah. Yeah. This is what been which I want to talk about, the branching strategy. This is the best option here. There are other branching strategies also, but it is kind of see, 4 Git branching strategies that you definitely need to know something. So it's all about something like, see, they have given us something called master branch. See, they are following integration branch, staging branch, dev branch, something like this. They have given what does it mean here. See, this is ultimately every changes have to come to the master again. Like we have done some changes, something like this, right? This is one thing. And even if you want to know something in any of the branches, what you need to do is you go to insights here and then network, and then you will understand the frequency, how the branching strategy has been going on also here. Okay, everyone, once you join a company, you would need to know what kind of a branching strategy they have been following, and either you can ask them or you can come here and then see how this based on the graph like this. Okay, yeah guys, that's it from my side about the Git branching strategies. Please let me know if you have any questions. Okay, can you please tell me how can I configure with IPv6 in a PowerShell so that to the Ubuntu server? Yeah, sure. Okay, good for today, Nanda. Thank you. Sure, Sainath, we will just be there for here, so we will see the issue. I mean, we'll see this. I think okay. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about here. Okay, see this. This is owner. For the owner, they have something like this. Master has these changes. From the master, there are many changes has been taken by this guy. Mithul has taken one thing. Okay, right? Since this is my area, so in my area, I have taken some random masters here. From there, I have taken some other branches, something like this. So we have to, this is how we can read this and then understand how it's been going on. Okay, assuming everything is good, please let me know if it's not clear so we can explain some other time also. Fine. Okay guys, yeah. Hey, one more announcement is like tomorrow let's have a class at 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. morning, 1 hour itself. So just only for tomorrow. This is my request. I would be traveling on this. Okay, so I mean day after tomorrow is as usual 7:30. Okay, please be, I think Sandeep will also will inform you again after this session. Okay, that's it from my side, guys. Thank you. You can stop recording.